Hi, Tim. Welcome to Only 5 Minutes.
Good evening from Sydney. Great to be with you, Blake.
Well, first things first, what is your 2023 outlook for solar and energy storage? Are you optimistic?
Absolutely. Like the rest of the world, I'm expecting record high installations for 2023 and again for 2024. That'll be both in terms of rooftop solar, but more specifically utility scale solar and utility scale wind, onshore wind in Australia. So the discussion, the financing, the investor interest in Australia is going through the roof. The CEO Daniel Westerman of the AEMO, the Australian Energy Market Operator, has flagged he expects utility scale renewable installs in 2023 be a record, and 2024 another record, like 4 and 5 gigawatts respectively, excluding rooftop solar, which will add another 3 gigawatts a year. So that's a big uplift after the energy policy chaos we have had for a decade here in Australia. And so that's up from about 3 gigawatts last year. So investor confidence is really returning rapidly.
Nations such as the US, China, Japan have all legislated clean energy transition roadmaps. Will Australia follow suit in 2023?
It will certainly start in 2023, but yes, it's a decade-long roadmap. You can't go from a reverse gear to full forward in the space of just 6 or 12 months. And that's certainly the policy and investor problem of the last 6 to 12 months. We've gone aggressively forward. We've got the federal government putting in the Climate Act, putting in the safeguard mechanism, putting in the 82% renewables by 2030, talking about an EV policy, looking at to really stimulate critical minerals. You name it, there are new policies coming across the board. It will take some time for that to actually get the country moving fast forward. But certainly, if you look at energy prices, wholesale prices in the first quarter year to date have dropped again another 20-30% relative to the fourth quarter, where the fourth quarter is down 20-30-40% versus the third quarter. So great to see wholesale energy prices dropping very materially in response to the government interventions. So we're starting 2023 with a very positive outlook, in my view.
You've covered energy and mining giant Adani for a number of years. Some recent allegations have rocked the company. How serious are they?
Yeah, at this stage, there are allegations by the Hindenburg Group in New York. They are being treated by the financial markets very, very seriously. We've seen the Adani Enterprises, the flagship company, as Adani likes to refer to it, stocks down 60% this week. Down another, at one point it was down 30% today. I think it's at the moment, last time I checked, it was down 20%, but it's now down 60% on the IPO price, or the follow-on offer, of only Monday of this week. So they raised 2.4 billion US dollars. They then had to cancel the IPO, I think because all of the parties that actually subscribe for new stocks are all the same parties the Hindenburg Group had been outing as the insiders, the undisclosed insiders within the Adani Group. So the allegations are being treated with very, very serious implications by global financial institutions. We're seeing multiple investment banks banning any new exposure to the Adani Group. And effectively, Adani's raised half their debt capital from Wall Street in the last 4 years. So they have an absolutely fundamental crisis. Effectively, Wall Street, with immediate effect, is closed to the Adani Group until these allegations are resolved one way or the other. I don't see how they can be resolved. So as the Financial Times has said today, Adani's got $2 billion of debt retirements this year, $3 billion next year. They've also got a whole lot of margin loans that are obviously being triggered every single day this week. So it's a rather interesting time, and Adani's wrapped himself in the Indian flag. But I think it's really important to realize this is not in any way an attack on India. It is very much an attack on a billionaire who has been outed, according to the Hindenburg research, yet to be proven, but outed as the biggest corporate fraud in world history.
And lastly, Australia has a lot of potential when it comes to becoming a renewable energy superpower, but with green hydrogen and green ammonia some years still away, you think we should invest as soon as possible in our critical minerals export industry?
let's export, embody decarbonisation in our critical minerals. Everyone in the world wants Australia's critical minerals. They want our lithium, our rare earths, and we need to actually process onshore, powered by renewable energies, build a competitive advantage in decarbonisation and low-cost energy, and export green, value-added critical minerals. And the biggest of them all would be for us to shift from low-quality iron ore to exporting high-quality decarbonised green iron, just like we will be producing green zinc, and then sooner rather than later, I hope, green aluminium and so on. So massive, massive investment opportunity. And that really shifts the narrative in Australia from one of the cost of climate action is too high, the bogan slogans of the previous government, to one now of the new government is let's embrace a once-in-a-century investment opportunity that will see Australia being a renewable energy powered critical mineral export superpower. It's a mouthful, but so is a multi-$100 billion a year annual export opportunity for our country. I'm really excited.
Tim, thank you for joining us.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me, Blake.